Hi there. Welcome on the journey to transform culture. I'm Steve, and I'll be your guide. Well, folks, I got some interesting mail. Let me read you a little of this mail. See what we can make of this. See what you think. All right. Dear Steve, season's greetings. Steve, I appreciate your conversations about so many aspects of organizational culture and culture at large. I often watch your videos with the helpers. Steve, during the Christmas season, speak to and about giving and its importance in culture, as well as in the lives of so many who suffer and struggle from all walks. Thanks, Steve. Sincerely, Santa Claus. Well, how about that? And it's not every day that you get a letter from Santa. I mean, usually, it's supposed to work the other way around, right? So, so we're going to talk about giving, which is great because a lot of what we've been talking about, there's giving elements to what we talk about. Taking care of organizational culture and the culture at large, right? But let's talk about giving because there's so many people who are struggling to make it day to day. They're struggling, with physical impairments, emotional, all of it, traumas, and all kinds of things across the board, but also at work on their teams. And as we've talked before, a big reason why we kind of start with the organization and the teams is simply because, we derive through our livelihood, that which we can then spread into our world, right? The energy and resource. All money is energy, and when you earn it, not only are you using that to survive, right? But you're also when you're spending it, you're also helping others to survive as well. So, that's the short and sweet of energy, the energy element of money, just an energy exchange, right? You provide energy, you get energy in return, right? But the giving side of, uh, I guess you could say the aspect of organizations and our culture goes well beyond just that simple energy exchange for resources to survive and then to kind of keep the wheels of our world turning. It goes much deeper, right? That's really just on the surface of it. As we climb down into the layers, as we often do, and into the depths, everything that you do in any moment, you're living in with choices in every moment. You make a choice to go left or to go right, to go up, to go down. You have options, you have choices, and when you make those choices, those are opportunities. When you come to any decision to say a thing, right? How you respond or react, right? You want to respond, not react, but we're sometimes under duress and stress and all these things, and we find ourselves pushed into a kind of a hyperbolic reactionary mode. But in those moments, because we're human beings and we often fail when we're trying to, that's how we've learned. We've learned by trying, and then, we don't always win. We don't always figure it out. Sometimes we have some little fails along the way, and then we learn from those, and then we pick ourselves up and we keep going. But in the process, we can think to ourselves, okay, I'm not going to react because I know that this person is suffering and hurting in a particular way. And it's okay to address that, right? To be calm and go, the problem is much deeper than this surface level, you know, communicative interaction. And if you see that, then what can you do? You're essentially in a mode of giving. I'm going to give this person a little bit of slack, but you don't want to, it's not just giving somebody some slack so they can kind of run people over. That's not what we're talking about. Giving them some slack so that they can recover, but also following that up with, are you okay? You seem pretty stressed out, or whatever the case may be. Obviously, you don't want to patronize folks, right? Don't want to get in that mode. But at the same time, to be genuinely and legitimately sensitive to their needs, concerns, stresses, that sort of thing. Sometimes we don't have the time, and that in itself is giving. You're giving your time to listen to someone, about what they have going on. Sometimes that is a healing modality, right? That is you giving time and your attention to someone. Perhaps it's somebody in your organization that has some ideas to improve or to make things better for the customer or for your team, and all of these things. Sometimes giving isn't you having to do anything. It's simply just listening and receiving. And sometimes you got to marinate on these things, right? Nobody expects, hopefully, a knee jerk reaction for, oh, we got to do that right this second. No, sometimes you need to marinate and see and envision how we can make these pieces fit. These puzzle pieces come together so that we can create a clear picture. It's very important. And doing that planning is another element of giving. How can I make sure that I don't let my significant other down or let my family down or let my community down in certain situations, right? Whatever it might be. It might be your church, whatever. It's by having a plan, sticking to your plan, carrying through on your plan. That's a giving. You're giving time and attention to be disciplined enough to carry out your plan so that you can arrive at some kind of result for somebody that you made a promise to or an obligation to, right? That is also a giving modality. That's a healing modality, and it's ingrained. We are actually giving often, way more often than we would give ourselves credit for. It's so easy for, especially if you're a parent, it's so much easier to see this real simply as, oh, I'm giving a gift or something to my children, right? To see the joy on their faces. Well, guess what? It doesn't have to be a gift per se, but the gift that you do give, the giving, the time, the attention, the slack on occasion, right? The opportunity to fail and then recover. That kind of giving is also, and we should also recognize that giving when we receive it, when we fail or when we screw up or when we need the help, right? We should appreciate that and reciprocate that and show thankfulness for that. So, the giving thing is not just one way. It's not just to those who maybe have and those who don't have. Those who don't have also um, give, obviously, but but they also it's important to remember that those who are, say, leading your organizations or owning those organizations, sometimes to give thanks, right? That's a form of giving. Being thankful is a form of giving, right? So we have giving all around us, and it's super important not to forget and be thankful and to give in these real subtle ways, and bring them out of that kind of subconscious or that deep down side of you that maybe forgets to at times, and bring it into the front of your mind. Okay, bring it up into the forefront of your mind and think, okay, how can I give in this situation? There's somebody struggling in a store, let's say at the mall or something like that, and somebody's frustrated with something, and you say, "Oh, can I give you a hand?" Right? Giving a hand to folks, and I don't mean like the old school we used to do. Hey, can you give me a hand? I don't mean that. Although sometimes some people do need a hand if they're in that realm of performance, but it is, sometimes lending folks a hand. The elderly who can't take care of themselves go to a nursing home, right? You don't have to give a gift. The gift is you giving them time, asking them questions, just being appreciative. Packed into their lives is a wealth of history, and you may not be able to get to it depending on how cognitively they are aware, but it doesn't matter. Anything will do. Giving, it doesn't matter, right? So, wanted to talk a little bit today because, of course, I'm not going to tell Santa no, right? Who tells Santa no? Not me. I think it was 1975. I got two Batman action figures. Do you think that I asked Santa to take one back? Of course not. Right? So I think Santa probably remembered that too. So anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit today about giving. Of course, we can give to charities, and we should step up and help out those who are hungry, who need shelter. Those should be priorities. And then everybody else, just in the course of your doing and you're saying and you're hearing and you're taking time and all of these things, These are also the ways that we push that good domino 3 to 5 times a day or more. And then when we do that, not only are we transforming culture through uplifting, motivating, and inspiring other people, because they go on to do the same thing, but also transforming ourselves. And that's very important. That is very important. That's giving yourself power to continue to do that. And when you do that, it keeps coming back to you, right? Because you're strengthened by what you do for others. All right, folks, just wanted to talk a little bit today about giving, thanks to Santa's input there. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hit like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, take care.